to the channel. So in today's video I will show you complete CICD pipeline implementation in Azure DevOps. So if you are new in cloud DevOps and want to progress ahead with Azure DevOps, then you can watch this video. So in this video I will show you complete structure from fetching the code from GitHub repository, then building the application, running security scans like Trivy, Sonar Cube analysis, then performing Docker build and push of the image from Docker file, and then finally deploying the application over Kubernetes cluster. So this whole process I will show you in this video. Okay, so make sure to follow the video till end, and also if you have any issues or confusion, then you can just mention the same in the comment section and I'll happy to reply. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay team, so basically first of all what you need to do, you need to have a Microsoft account which you can create using your Gmail account as well. Okay, then you need to go on this page portal.azure.com and you need to sign up or sign in. Okay, so as you can see I have signed in with my Gmail account, and once you have done that you need to search here for DevOps, and in the options that appear here you need to click on this option Azure DevOps Organizations. Okay, now if you scroll down and see on the left side, there is one option saying clickable option saying my Azure DevOps Organizations. So let's click on this. In case you are doing this for the first time, then it will give you an option to create create new organization. In my case, as you can see, like I have already created one organization and one project is inside there, but for you only this option will be visible since you will be doing it for the first time. You can provide the name of organization, then you can select the location. In location you can select the nearest one. Okay, and then you can click on like OK and create, and then it will create a new organization. So and the organization URL will be something like this: dev.azure.com/name of the organization that you provide. And if you want to create any project, you can click on new project, provide details here, and you click on create. Since I have already created an empty project so that I can show you everything from scratch, so I will move ahead with this one. Okay, so let's click on this project Azure demo. So as you can see, like as of now even the repository is empty. So for like pushing your source code, three options visible as you can see. One is like directly cloning the repository on your system, copying the files, and then pushing the source code. Then you can like push an existing repository also from command line, or you can like import a repository also from GitHub or GitLab. So in my case, you can see I have already one project on my public GitHub repository. So I will copy this and I will paste it. I will copy that URL, and using import a repository option we will import it. So as I said, my repository is public, so it does not require authentication. In case you are using a private one, then you need to check this option. Okay, now let's click on import. So the project is like importing, and it will be like downloaded inside our Azure DevOps Git repo. Okay, so you can see it says congratulations, this was successful. If I click on repos, you can see the source code is here. Now let me remove the Jenkins file because we don't require it anymore. Okay, now before creating the first pipeline, one thing that you need to note down is that first we need to set up an agent. Okay, agent is something like a VM or slave where we are going to build our application, run commands like Maven install, then run Docker commands and everything. Okay, so for that you need to go on project settings and scroll down to agent pools. Here you need to create your own agent pool, because previously Microsoft was giving free VM for like running the building and deploying applications, but as of now they are not giving it anymore. So you need to create your own pool. For example, if you can see here, I have created my own pool named as Aditya. If I open it, go to agents, here you can see one agent is also added. In case you are new to this, you can directly click on new agent, and here select the VM that you are having. So in my case it was Linux, and you need to just run these commands. Okay, while you are running these commands, actually when you reach to this stage, it will ask for organization URL, for which you can copy the URL this much and paste it. And second, for authentication, it will ask for a token, personal access token, which you can generate. Let me close this, which you can generate by clicking here user settings, personal access tokens. If I click on it, this option opens, and here you can click on new token and like that. You can like give full access or like custom access. Usually for me, I go with the full access, like not to cause any problems for that reason. Okay, and once you give the token thing, then that VM will be added as an agent. As you can see in my case also, agent is added, but the status is saying offline. Okay, so if I go to agent here, if I go to this location, which is the like folder of the Azure DevOps agent, here to start an agent, once you configured it, but to start an agent you need to run a command like this one, /run.sh. Let's click enter. You can see scanning for tool capabilities, connecting to server, and now you can see it is connected. If I go back here, you can see the status is saying online now. Okay, great. Now one more thing before like starting it, before like creating the pipeline, one configuration I need to do. So if I open the agent, go to capabilities, these are like key pair values. Okay, so here one thing I need to add, because like we are going to run Maven commands, so I need to make a demand like that, like make a condition where key will be Maven, value will be exist. Okay, now once I added this, then we can go ahead and we create our pipeline. Okay, so let's see, repository is already there. Now let's click on pipeline. Now this is the first pipeline we will be creating, so click on here, and there are actually two options to create pipelines in Azure DevOps. First one is classic editor, which is the easy option, and second one is like using the YAML pipeline. Okay, so the output of both the ways is same, so it doesn't matter with which you are going. Okay, so usually I go with classic editor because it is like much easier. So when you click on classic editor, these are the options visible. Select the project, then repository, and then the branch where your source code is there. Then click on continue. And for our case, like we are having a Maven application, so we will use Maven. Okay, so click on apply, and it will create 3 steps. Maven, which will be the first one to like okay, let's say like we want to compile our source code also. So what we can do, we can right click on Maven POM XML and clone it. Okay, and here name we will provide as code compile. Okay, and second one we will provide the name as code build. Okay, now Maven stage is completed, code compile, code build. Now let's say that we want to scan our repository for any vulnerabilities or any other issues. So for that we need to run Trivy scan. In case you are not aware like how to set up Trivy, I will post the link of the video in the description, which you can follow. Okay, so meanwhile I have already installed Trivy, and I just need to run, I need bash to run the commands. So I will search for bash, click on add, and since I want to run it before the code is built. Okay, so here again in bash script there are 2 options, file path and inline. So file path is basically refers to the way where you need to provide the path of the file where which file contains the script. Okay, and inline is the one where you manually write the script here. Since my script is very small, so I will just write it manually here, Trivy fs. Then we need to write a little bit, we need to copy the command from here. Let me copy this and yeah, paste it here. Okay, now we need to provide the file path where the scanning should be done. Okay, so for that path will be home/ubuntu, then my agent. Okay, let me just check the path for once again. Let's make a duplicate tab, then cd my agent ls. It should be okay, it's not yet created because we have not yet run the path. Okay, so what I will do, I will remove this for now. Okay, let's just run it. But before that, see one error we are able to see here. So we need to configure the agent pool. So we will select our own pool, and yeah, then we are here. Okay, here we need to select it. Okay, let's say just we want to run first code compile because I want to find the path. Okay, so let's save and queue. If you want to put any comment, you can put a comment here, then save and run. Now let's see. So since it's a compile process, it should not take too much time. Okay, now you can see here it says pool name is Aditya, and it has just started the process of like executing the pipeline on the VM. Also, if you want, like if I go back here, you can see here it says running job agent job 1. Okay, so everything, like you can, like complete transparency is maintained here, like everything you can see if you are using your own VM. Okay, so let's wait for some time. So so actually what stages, let me like explain the stages that I'm going to add. First is like a code compile, then trivia scan, then Maven build, then we will perform this SonarQube analysis. This is the SonarQube server I have created using Docker. Okay, so this also we will integrate with our pipeline. Okay, and after SonarQube we will run Docker build and push, and then finally deploy our application to Kubernetes. Okay, so this is successful now. Okay, so basically what I wanted from this, I wanted to get a path. Okay, let me see, where is the path? Yeah, so this is the path that I wanted for configuring the trivia. Okay, now again let me edit this, enable all these things, then again we will click on add, and here we will select bash, and I will put it before code build. Type will be inline, and here it will be trivia fs, then the path, then the security checks we need to add. Okay, yeah, okay, also like okay, let's add SonarQube as well now itself, in case we are facing an issue, then we can. Okay, build. Okay, I think we need to add this extension before we add SonarQube stages. Okay, let's add it. I think it's from the official page of SonarQube. Also, like in case you are wondering what is this, this is basically an extension similar to what we are having plugins or other things in, like in Jenkins we are having plugins. Okay, so similar to that, in case of Azure DevOps we are having extensions. Extensions are like certain tools or certain tasks you want to add that may not be available directly, so you can add extension or install extensions, and that will do the task. Okay, so when we have added the extension, then we can click on plus icon and again search for Sonar, and two new options will be there. So we will add this first, prepare the analysis configuration, then run the analysis. See, when you are doing it for the first time, then you need to click on new and you need to add the server URL. So server URL is this much, SonarQube server URL. So we will paste it here. Then the token. So for token you can go to administration, security, and in case from tokens you can provide a name and generate it from there. Okay, so let's provide a name as T2 generate, click on copy, and we will paste it here. And here you need to provide a name which you can, let me provide as SonCon, and I will grant the access to all pipelines. Then we will click on save. Okay, so you can see the connection, service connection is visible now. Okay, now here we need to select the way to run the analysis since we are using Maven. So either we can select this one or we can select this option. Okay, so in use standalone scanner, again there are two modes. So I will select second one. Here we can provide any name. So let's provide as AZ-demo. Same, I will keep it as the project name also. Okay, and sources root directory root will be just dot because it will take all of them. Okay, and here we need to add one more thing, which will be sonar.java.binaries. Okay, because that will be the path of binaries file in Java. Okay, so I will just put the path as dot so that it can scan all. So this is done. Then run code analysis. Yeah, here we don't need to do anything. Okay, now let's save and queue. Let's trigger the pipeline. Okay, so let's see the progress here. So the job has started. Okay, code compile, it is running now. Okay, next is trivia script, trivia scan for scanning the whole project folder. Okay, then we have code build, which will generate the artifact in form of jar file. Okay, that artifact we will use in Docker and then finally in that Kubernetes. Now you can see it is in SonarQube stage and it has started the analysis. Okay, so this is good. Okay, analysis is also complete. Okay, yeah, so all the stages is complete. Let's go to SonarQube now and we will go to projects, and here you can see the SonarQube analysis complete and the report is generated here with just one code smells. Okay, this is good. Total number of lines were 120. Okay, and here also you can see last analysis 39 seconds ago, which was just now. Okay, so this is good. Okay, so next what we will do, we will add the Docker stage. Okay, so we want Docker to build and push the Docker image inside the what is that, inside Docker Hub repository. Okay, so for that also, like on the VM I have already installed all these machines, like all the tools, this one like Docker, then Trivy, then Maven and all. Okay, so again we will just click on plus and search for Docker. Okay, so we have so many options with respect to Docker, so I will select this one, build or push Docker image. Okay, let me select this. Okay, here it is asking container registry, which will be again the service connection sort of thing to provide authentication to your public repository or private repository. Okay, so if you are doing it for the first time, you need to click on new, and here if you are using ACR from Azure, then you can select this. If not, if you are having your own, then you can select this, but I am using a Docker Hub, so in place of Docker ID you need to provide your own username. Okay, so I will provide a username as this one, then you need to provide password. Okay, email is optional, then verify. So verification is successful, and here again name you need to provide. I will provide as doccon and grant permission to all the pipelines. Okay, now let's save it. Okay, doccon, it is visible here. Container repository, any name we can provide. Okay, so what should we provide? Okay, let me see inside the repository, like in Docker. One second, repositories. If I go to Kubernetes YAML file, what name we are using? CICD DevOps. Okay, so what we will do, we will provide the name which we have used earlier only. Okay, build and push or Docker file, this is okay, rest everything is good. Okay, now let's trigger it and let's see if it is able to build the Docker image or not. Okay, some error is coming. I think it's stuck there. Okay, let me just refresh the page. Okay, let's once again add Docker step. Docker put it, let's put it here. Okay, Docker I will keep it as after the artifacts are generated. Okay, container registry, this one, cd DevOps, Docker file, save and queue. Yeah, so it started now, and let's see if it is able to build the Docker image as well or not. Also, as I'm saying again and again, the steps that I'm following will be in the description. Also, if you are getting confused in any step, you can just comment and I will definitely reply. Also, the video tutorials for anything like Privy, Kubernetes, Docker, anything, that also I will put in description. Okay, since I have already made videos on that. Okay, so it is in Sonarcube stage now. Okay. Okay. Now Maven code build stage for building the jar file. Also, I would request you to, if you want any specific topic to be for a video to be made on, you can just comment that in the comment section. Okay. Coming to Docker stage now. Okay, so you can see here it is able to build. Okay, now let's see if it is able to push also. Okay, see, it was able to build, but it was not able to push. Okay, so what changes we need to do now? Okay, first of all, here we need to change the name. The repository name should be like username / some name. Okay, also this time let me just make it in two ways. First we will run the build command. Okay, and let me make another clone of it for the push command. Here repositories like this, build, no, it will be push. Yeah, this much is fine. So let's trigger this again. Now let's monitor how much time does it take. Since we are having like multiple stages, so this may take a little bit of time. Okay, also side by side I have also opened this Docker repository page so that we can see if our command for build and push of Docker image is successful or not. Okay, so Sonarcube analysis is completed. Now it's in Maven clean package step for building the application and generating the artifact. That is also success. Then artifact drop. Okay, it is in push stage, and now I think push is successful. This is good. Okay, and here also like we can see the status, what is the size and what was created. Since the size is almost 546 MB, which is a lot. So okay, now all the stages are successful at this point. And if I go to the Docker Hub public repository, we should be able to see the, yeah, so the image is pushed now. Okay, now coming back and now coming to the most important stage of the pipeline, which is Kubernetes. Okay, So all the stages are successful now. Now the only remaining stage is Kubernetes deployment. So actually what I will do a workaround. So for that I will select bash. I have already installed Kubernetes on my VM machine, and let's run the command on that. kubectl, okay, kubectl apply, and in line we will select the option, because here we will run the command will be sudo kubectl apply -f, then the name of the YAML file. So this is our YAML file which we are going to use. So let's provide the name here, and meanwhile let's remove SonarQube because this might take quite some time. Okay, so let's save and queue this, and let's start this. So agent has accepted the pipeline. Now it started. Code compile is running now. Okay, it's in code build and generating the artifact, and that same artifact will be used in Docker step, and the Docker image from Docker step we will use in YAML file. Okay, so artifact also generated, published now, and it is building the Docker image. Now pushing the Docker image. Pushing may take some time because the size of the image is quite big. It's around like, okay, kubectl also ran successfully, and you can see in the logs it says deployment created as well as service also created. Same thing we can confirm here. If we go inside our cluster, run the command as kubectl get pods, you can see it is created.